to our program, Marriage and Relationships. I'm Mercy Kiare, and tonight we are going to talk about time in a relationship. Our guest speaker tonight, we have Pastor, and she's also a counselor, Madam Eva Musyoka. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. Talking about time in a relationship, what's really the importance of time in a relationship?
The importance of time is in many sides. First of all, when you talk about time in a relationship, there is the time to enter into a relationship. Even in the book of Ecclesiastes, the Bible says there is time for everything under the earth. So before you enter into a relationship, there are some things that must be in your life. For example, in terms of maturity, we talk about emotional maturity, we talk about financial maturity. You must be able to provide for yourself. And for another person, there is the physiological maturity. You must not be an underage. There is maturity to handle issues. If you're not yet mature, then you should not even be thinking about getting into a relationship. And some people are not right to get into a relationship, not just because of age, but because of other issues. You know, the Bible says in the book of Hebrews that it was when Moses was 40 that he decided, I'm no longer going to be called a child of Pharaoh. That is when he matured, at the age of 40. But some people will make right decisions right at 21. So your level of maturity will show by what decisions you take. There are some people that are just coming from other relationships and they have been wounded. Those people are not in the right time to enter into a relationship. So that's one aspect of time. The other aspect of time, of course, is how you spend time inside the relationship. Time is a revealer of things. In fact, if you're not sure about something, just give it time. You will, with time, you will know whether it is the right decision or not. So anybody that is not ready to invest time is not serious. Time is what will allow us to know your real colors. So if you are serious and you want to get into a relationship, you must be ready to invest time. Time is money. Time is currency. So it's a sign of commitment. If you want to marry someone, you must be ready to spend time with them.
And lack of time in a relationship, can it cause a misunderstanding and lead to a breakup?
Yes, of course, because if I don't spend time with you, I cannot even say I know you. And the whole essence of having time in a relationship is to know the other person. There's no way you can arrange a wedding and get into somebody's house or bring somebody into your house, somebody that is a stranger. So if somebody is always having excuses why they cannot create time, that person you should not commit to that person. Yes, so anytime there are so many reasons, you know, in the world we are living today, somebody will argue my job, I have so many things doing, I cannot make it. Or some people, they always promise, but they don't show up. They are those category of people. So if there is no time in a relationship, you're not likely to end anywhere in any relationship. In fact, that applies to relationship concerning marriage and other relationships. For example, I had so many friends in primary school, but how many of them do I call my friends now? Why? Because I don't spend time to call them. I don't spend time to meet with them over coffee. But if there is somebody that is important to me, even if it is not about marriage, we'll catch up. I will find time and look for them. Even if I lost their number, I will look for them online and talk to them. We will find a way of meeting somewhere and have coffee and catch up. So time is essential. And if there is no time in a relationship, it is likely to break up.
Okay, and talking of commitment with time, yes. How can a person spend a quality time maybe with his or her spouse or a partner?
Okay, now quality means you have already invested the time, Now the question is, how do you spend that time? First of all, we talk about the time. When do you place it? Timing must be placed with understanding. Because if I work night shift, some people work night shift, right? Yeah. And you work day shift. You cannot tell me that because if I have to show that I love you, I have to show up when I should be working. So it should be placed when two of you are available. Secondly, some people are permanently on the phone. You must set apart time when you know that you are away from, you can switch off your phone, right? I've even heard of pastors, people that have a lot of things that rotate around them. They will take time off and disappear with their spouse to somewhere you cannot even know where they are. Because if you're going to have a quality time, some of these things you have to put them aside, at least for some time. So you need to be away from distractions. Your mind needs to be there for you to have quality time. Number 3, you should be away from interruptions. For example, if me and my husband choose to go to a local restaurant where most of our friends are, the likelihood is that by the time we talk for 2 minutes, a friend will come and greet us. They take our 5 minutes, walk away. After we try to talk again, another one will come very happy, gist with us, walk away. At the end of our 1 hour, which we worked very hard to create, we have not even managed to do what we went to do there. So you want to think about where are you going. Secondly, about where you're going is about the environment. Is it a comfortable place for each of you? For example, if you take me to a football club, I may not enjoy as much as if you take me where there is a live band. That may not be the like of my spouse. So when you're considering where you want to go, you have to consider what are your likes and what are your dislikes. Thirdly, you have to consider about bills. Recently, there was a case where someone spent 100,000 with their girlfriend, and because they could not pay, they decided to run away from the hotel. So the quality of time you spend, you need to have the peace of mind, knowing that the bill we are going to incur here, we can pay for it. And I always tell ladies, the fact that the man that God has given you cannot afford Ken Pisky does not mean that you will remain at that level forever. A time will come when you support that man, when he will pay for you the presidential lounge there. Yeah? So go where you can afford for now, so that you're not having issues after that meeting. Yeah, so that is another aspect of how to spend quality time. And that talks about where you go. There is also the aspect of having to plan prior. You know, some people probably in the nature that God made them, you know, we have different kinds of personalities. Some people cannot just start a conversation. No problem. Plan it ahead. What are you going to do when you meet? Are you going to talk about what? I know that when it comes to what you talk about, it depends also on the level of relationship. If you're meeting a person for the first time, you cannot be talking about some things. But as your relationship is advancing, you need to sit down and discuss important things that concern both of you, that concern your future, that concern, I mean, when are you going to get married? I mean, when are you going to see your parents? Do you want to have children? Those are the times when you ask questions. Like, if you want to know the beliefs and the values of a person, you ask them in that junction when they are very free. You know, there are times when you bring up some questions, it could look like, why are you asking? Are you a CID or are we in a relationship? But when you are easy, you can throw one. Find out, what do they believe about divorce? What do they believe about mpango wa kando? You want to find out. Those times they will tell you what they sincerely think. and you'll be able to make up your mind. Are you ready to live with someone who is okay with having a few girls here and there, as long as you remain in the house as the wife? You know, what do they believe about money? If it's a lady, does their money get married, or they get married and the money remains theirs? You want to find out, because these are the issues that bring up quite a number of challenges when they are already in marriage. Yes, so that's about quality of time. Yes.
If you're just joining us, this is Champions TV, and today we are talking about time in a relationship with Eva Musyoka. For your any comments, our SMS line is 0706 100 100. On our social media platform, Marriage and Relationship, Champions TV Kenya on Facebook, and also on Twitter, Champions TV Kenya. We'll take a commercial break and we'll be right back after the break. Stay tuned.